Okay, so it's a pretty nice day today, so I decided to go out to my local park and show you my favorite tarp shelter setup. I'm calling this the base camp setup. Here we go. I hope you like it. Okay, most importantly, it's nice to have a tarp if you're going to set the tarp up. So this is my wonderful Harbor Freight 8x10 tarp. And it's this is the one that I've been working on in my cheap tarp series. I paid $5 for this, added a few grommets, and in true Harbor Freight fashion, it is not 8x10. It is like 7'6" by 9'4". But that doesn't really make any difference. All you need to do is just divide it into threes and add some grommets. So we got a big old length of paracord with a couple pressing knots in it. We have a few of my pre-cut toggles, and I like to use the pre-cut toggles, and all this is a little piece of 3/8 inch dowel rod that I cut 3/8 inch long and kind of smooth the ends. It's really easy carrying these along. Just in case you can't find any suitable sticks for toggles, you always got your own, and these are really solid. Got a couple more lengths of paracord, we got a bunch of metal stakes, we got a hammer, and back here I'm going to show you what we use these for in my base camp setup. We got a couple of pieces of bamboo. There's a lot of wild bamboo where I go, but there's a couple pieces of wild bamboo that are about 38 inches long. So let's get with these tarps. Okay, first thing we're going to do is we're going to tie our ridge line, and we're going to use a bowline and kind of tie it into a running bowline. A bowline knot right here. We're going to take this end of the cord, we're going to pass it through, we're going to put our toggle through. Now we can ratchet that sucker tight and it'll stay and the line won't fall. Now we can go to the other side and tie our trucker's hitch. Okay, now we're going to move to this side. We're going to tie our basic trucker's hitch, and we're going to tie this about waist high. We can really crank this down. All right. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is lay out our tarp. 10-foot side that way, 8-foot side that way. Okay. And we have our handy dandy ridge line. And all we do is we come over and we peg the tarp 1 grommet up from the end. There's the middle one, so we're only 1 grommet up. So that's about 1/3 of the tarp. And we peg it right under the ridge line. And it's pegged on the other side right under the ridge line too. So we're going to put the tarp over the ridge line in a minute. Now we can stretch it out and we can peg it in the front, 2 grommets. Okay, now we have a nice tarp floor, which is right here. So now I'm going to throw that over, and then you'll see where the sticks come in. So stay with me. Now what I'm going to do to hold each end, that side and that side, there's a grommet there, and I'm going to put one of these handy dandy little dowels in there to hold it up on the ridge line. So I got my pressing knots, and I'm going to do it with pressing. Now we can stretch that tarp tight on both ends. Now you kind of see what we're getting to. Now we're going to put up these other last two little sticks with some ridge lines holding the sticks up, and then we're going to have our base camp configuration. So watch this. Okay, so here's where we use the pieces of bamboo. We're going to put one in the front grommet hole of that tarp. We're going to tie it off to a peg right down here. So let's do that. Okay, there's one. All I did is secure it with a taut line hitch, which is nice. Now let's do the other one. All right, disaster. My pole broke. Let's see if we can still get it. All right, I gotta revise this a little bit. All right, nothing ever works out right. What I had to do is it broke the tip off of my bamboo stick, so I had to put my bowl in through there around the stick and prop the stick up. But hey, it still works. And all I did is I peg them out and I do a couple of taut line hitches. The same thing. This one was nice to me. Taut line hitch on there with a peg. And here we have the FloridaBoy Survival Basecamp setup. Now I could put another one right in the middle and hold it down because it's a little breezy today. But hey, this works out good. Now I'm going to get into it and show it to you from the inside. All right. Yeah. FloridaBoy Survival Basecamp setup. We got an 8x10 tarp, basically the 7'4" by 9'6", I think it is, Harbor Freight. And what I did is I just divided it into threes, tied my ridge line up here, put some pressigs to pull it tight on the ridge line. Now we got a nice back wall of the tent. Below us, we have a nice tarp shelter floor. And this is like a little over 3 feet wide, okay? And above us, we got a nice roof that's 3 feet wide. And it's kind of reminds me of the islands, man. We got our poles out here. Got that pole there, and that pole that didn't cooperate with me on the other side. But we have 7 feet 6 inches or whatever it is this way. Plenty of room to lay down. I got another foot over there. I've got plenty of room for my gear. This is a really great setup. I mean, it's fast, easy breezy. All you need is 2 sticks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pegs, and 6 stakes. and a solid ridgeline. So here's the Florida Boy Survival Base Camp Setup, or as I like to call it, Casa de Florida Boy. It's kind of kind of a modified C, or kind of a C-shaped tarp shelter with the floor here, the back wall here, and then the roof over here. You know, in the high winds, you're going to have to be mindful of which way the wind's blowing. I should have set it up a different way because I'm catching some wind coming up and it's flapping the roof a little bit. But, you know, in the high wind, it's not going to be too good. In the really hard rain, it's not going to be too good. But if it's a nice day, and nice sunny and hot day, and you want to keep the sun off you, this is going to work out great. Plus, it's got a nice tarp floor, so if the ground's a little wet, you know, you're not going to get your ass wet, and you're not going to get all your gear wet too. So I hope you liked my base camp setup. You saw it in another video. There was a card to it somewhere around there, I don't know. But this is my base camp setup, and this is kind of my go-to setup. I really like it. So let me know what you think in the comment below. Leave me a like, comment, share, and until next time, this is Matt the Old Florida Boy saying, see you on the trail.